Hello, my name is Ferris, and for my country, I chose Tajikistan. This is located in Central Asia, and this continent has always been a interest of mine, specifically because of sports and a lot of my close friends coming from that area, specifically Iran. But in this country, I wanted to take a different route because of their Silk Road food heritage. So, in the heart of Central Asia, where the roof of the world meets ancient river valley, this is where Tajikistan is. Food isn't just sustenance or a means of living. People look at it as contact between guests and hosts. And to understand Tajikistan from what I've seen, you don't need to look at a map or traditional tablecloth or whatever it may be. I think it should be through heritage, culinary heritage, shaped by Persian roots and tradition by the mountains, through the mountains. So this is an introduction to their food culture. It's deeply rooted in its history, geography, and traditions, and it reflects a blend of various influences, which showcases an array of flavors, ingredients, and cooking methods that'll obviously be unique to the region. And I think I wanted to do this country because I feel like when people think of Asia, they typically think of traditional or more, I guess, mainstream cuisines. I feel like I know definitely in my case, my mind just went to Japan sushi whenever I were to think of Asia. So I like this because it opens up a different lens, um, you know, and it allows you to see what Asia is actually for and how diverse it is. So, again, stating rich in cultural diversity and history, making it an intriguing subject for exploration, right? I feel like it's pretty niche, and its unique traditions is going to reflect a blend of influences from different cultures, providing an opportunity to learn about its food heritage and with that, its social customs. So, plov is the beloved and national dish in Tajikistan, often regarded as their national dish. It consists of rice cooked with beef, lamb, carrots, and a blend of spices such as cumin and garlic. A very emphasis, or big emphasis on cumin and garlic, and is traditionally served during significant celebrations and gatherings. So, this is big for hospitality, as you can see in this picture right here. It's set up very vibrant colors, big emphasis on the array and just how it's plated. Everything is very aromatic and fragrant and just overall um, aesthetically pleasing. Just very all super aesthetically pleasing, and it's meant for big gatherings. So this is plov. And kurutab, staple dish, is a popular dish made from kurut, which is dried yogurt. Um, other Other cultures have their an Arab tradition. They call it labna, which is dried yogurt as well. So this is mixed with water, poured over pieces of bread, and is often topped with sautéed onions, tomatoes, and served with herbs and vegetables. This is very fresh and refreshing, and it's honestly very simple, which is a lot of the recipes that you'll see in Tajikistan. It's not about fancy techniques or expensive imports. There's a quality that's emphasized of the grain and the warmth of the clay oven and just how hospitable everything is and how comforting it is. To eat here, I like to say is like a taste of history. I don't it's not for the comfort, it's not for, you know, the flavor which is obviously there, but it goes far back. It goes far back. So next we have mantu, which are steamed dumplings, and these can be filled with any meat, lamb, beef, chicken in some cases, and onions. And they're served with a drizzle of sour cream and a sprinkle of herbs. I like this. I had this at a friend's house. And sour cream in Mexican tradition, which is where I'm from ethnically, or which is what I ethnically identify as, sour cream has a big say and a big portion in a lot of Mexican foods in specific. So this was a little it kind of hit home for me. I really enjoyed it, and it was my first time kind of seeing it in different cultures cuisine, so I thought that was very cool. but another very popular dish in Tajikistan, which reflects the influence of Central Asian cuisine, which shows the love for dumplings in the region. I like this too because it shows that dumplings aren't just in those Eastern Asian countries. It shows that dumplings are worldwide, and Asian or dumplings are quite popular in Asia as well, just in general within all the different regions. So, in Tajikistan, food serves as a vital part of the social life and the way the culture is expressed. So, it is home to celebrations, rituals, family gathering, and symbolizing hospitality and community bonds. Food is a means of bonding. It's a way of expressing yourself, cooking, expressing your love, expressing your community and your brotherhood, whatever it may be for your community and your loved ones. Food is not just used for fuel, food is used for an expression of love and community. So here we have urban versus rural food practices. So within the urban areas of Tajikistan, the food practices will tend to reflect modern influences and globalization. So with a variety of different international dishes alongside traditional dishes. So we see in the urban centers that they lean more towards the shanbet of the restaurants that not only serve Tajiki food, but also Middle Eastern, Russian, and even Western dining options. Now, in the contrast, rural areas rely heavily on local ingredients and traditional cooking, hence the rural area. Um, Prioritize seasonal and freshly sourced produce and meats. Meats are often communal, emphasizing hospitality and local customs. So, I recommend, obviously, if anyone would like to try this cuisine, to go with the rural food. Our bodies are in sync with what we eat during the season. Throughout the winters, people will eat a lot more fat. Throughout the summers, people eat a lot more carbs. This is just the way our bodies are, and I really like the rural part because it's emphasizing you to eat with your body and to source what's in tune and what's growing during that. So I really appreciate that fact as well, to locally source and harvest what's growing that specific season. So geographical influence on cuisine. Um, Tajikistan has a very diverse geography, from the mountains to the valleys. The mountains are what they're very popular for historically, and this obviously has a huge influence on its cuisine. So the Fergana Valley is a huge, abundant water source and providing a variety of fruits and vegetables, while the mountain regions focus on hearty meals suitable for colder climates. So, like I said, going to be higher in fat and obviously warmer. The availability of local ingredients such as herbs, grains, meats leads to distinct regional dishes that reflect the environment's lifestyle of the inhabitants, which I think is very cool. It's again back to what I was saying earlier, an expression. So, like an example of this is the fresh herbs is going to be more common in lowland areas compared to highland regions, giving a more aromatic and fresh dish or smell even. These are some of the food etiquettes. So going back, respect for guest traditions. Anytime a guest is brought in, anytime a guest is being served, the guest traditions will be respected. Refusal of first offer and use of right hand only. So, this is a little timeline on the influences and historical influences on Tajik cuisine, exploring how historical events have shaped the landscape of it, and particularly through the Silk Road, which is what they're very famous for. So, ancient times, trade routes were led to early exchange ingredients and cooking techniques among various cultures, and these are obviously adapted, changed, and adopted throughout the years. So, throughout the 8th century, this is when the Arab conquest introduced new agriculture practices and ingredients such as rice, which became central to Tajik cuisine, especially in Central Asia. Rice is huge. You'll find it in Persian food, you'll find it in Afghani food. In Central Asia, rice is a huge, huge staple. In the 13th century, the Mongol invasion further diversified the culinary landscape by incorporating new flavors and cooking styles from Central Asia. And famously, the Silk Road era became a melting pot of cultures with spices, fruit, and cooking methods exchanged between the East and West, which was just an explosion in flavor and aromatics. And lastly, the Soviet era introduced industrial food and production methods, but also led to a revival of traditional Tajik dishes in response to cultural preservation movements. Get to this. Sorry. So that is the end. Thank you for listening. I'm happy that I had the opportunity